Hello folks, it's been about 6 weeks since I uploaded the first video in our Making a Lego City series, and I figured it was high time I showed you some progress, especially because it's been a couple of weeks now since the disaster happened, which I have just about recovered from. But in this video, I'm just going to give you a little bit of a tour of the Lego room, showing you the progress we've made in our first 6 weeks of having a Lego room and trying to build a Lego city in it as a complete beginner. So as you can see, quite a lot has changed since the last video. I think when I released the last video showing the city, the only modular that we had in was the Sanctum Sanctorum, and I had some disasters with the road plates, with the train track. Basically ordered a load of parts to try and put them on Mills plates, and long story short, ordered the wrong parts, wasted about £500. It wasn't actually a waste because I can use them and have been using for other parts of the city. So we're not going to worry too much about that. But you can see down here, I do have a new pick-a-brick box from Lego. So that actually has, this time, the right parts to be able to ballast all of the train tracks, sort the road plates onto Mills plates, get some proper pavements in, and basically start to make this element of the city, the roads, the tracks, a little bit more permanent. I also bought a whole load of spare parts off of Bricklink as well, so I have got road and train stuff for days in this room. But you can see I have been busy whilst waiting for those orders to arrive. I've covered the tables in base plates now, so I've got a real good idea of where everything is going to go. It's helping me zone it out a little bit more in my head. So this area, the blue bit, is probably where the sea is going to be. I ran out of sand coloured base plates, but the lighter green are where it's going to be beach, and then the darker green is where I'm going to have the theme park. Now I might have to mush them in amongst all that stuff because I've got a lot more theme park stuff than I had when I originally planned this. So the theme park might end up going along the back there, and we perhaps don't need as much sea as this, although we have got the lighthouse that needs to go in the sea as well. So maybe that's not really been started yet. You can see we have got my Legoland minifigs that are kind of claiming the spot, but other than that, there's not much that's happening over this way yet. I kind of want to get the rest of the city done first. I am also toying with the idea of getting rid of this basically junk table. I don't think I need a junk table in here, especially because I'm not really streaming from this room now. We've got Anna's room fully set up. So I'm thinking I'm going to get rid of this table, turn this table round so it faces the wall the way it was when I originally planned the room, and then get 2 more of the IKEA tables to come across here, get some wood, and basically go L-shaped and come across here, probably from about this point across to that bookcase, and that should give me a lot more room to potentially put the theme park over there, and then over here can just be beach and sea and like seaside fun stuff, and then over there it can be a theme park and just separate the two completely. Or I might even have a medieval area. Who knows? I've got plans, but I'm not going to buy any more tables until I've filled the ones that I've got. And as you can see, we are getting there. We have made some modulars. The first ones to get done was the Marvel area. So we started with the Sanctum Sanctorum, then added in the Daily Bugle, then added in the Avengers Tower. And you can see I've built a couple of the Marvel ships as well, and also included all of the Series 1 and Series 2 Marvel minifigs. And of course, you got to have a Batman if there's superheroes around. I know that's going to upset some of you, but you know what? It's fine. We've got far too many minifigs in there. I fully acknowledge it. It's basically they're just thrown in for now until I sort the road plates out. Once the road plates are properly sorted, then we'll do some proper displays on there. Although I am already enjoying my little coffee and tea drinking chaps up here on the roof. So I think that's probably here to stay. I'm also thinking the corner there where I've currently got the 2 ships is probably, hopefully, going to be where the rumoured X Mansion that's supposed to be coming out on Black Friday. I'm hoping that'll fit in that gap. Looking at some of the leaked images online, it looks like it should maybe fit in there sideways on, or maybe even not right into the corner and along there. But I'd quite like to keep this area as a Marvel area. If it doesn't fit there, I'm not completely against putting it next to, or even between, the Daily Bugle and the Avengers Tower, and moving the Sanctum Sanctorum, because it's an end building. and it looks a bit weird just as an end building next to nothing really, because it's got the weird skyscraper Avengers Tower thing next to it. I'm not against moving the Sanctum Sanctorum down onto this end and basically shuffling all this along. You can see we have got a little bit of space here where we could move the road half a base plate, shuffle everything else down half a base plate, and put the Sanctum in there and still keep it kind of involved in the Marvel area. So the Marvel stuff is looking really, really cool. I then got started on some of the modular buildings. So we've got Assembly Square in the middle with the Natural History Museum to one side, complete with where I can fit them in, Muppets. Love to include some Muppets throughout the city where I can fit them in. Muppets are a very important part of the city. We've got the corner garage on the end here, and you can see we've got the road running along and then disappearing underneath the raised platform. Obviously, the plan eventually is to put some retaining walls in to hide the raised platform, but at the moment, I mean, one job at a time. I need to get these roads and rails sorted so they look a little bit better. They're just attached with these yellow things that came with the road plates at the moment. They don't really attach to the modulars properly, so we need to get those sorted as a matter of urgency. And I think I'm going to continue the road so it kind of disappears under the raised platform in the tunnel as well, and it will go under the raised platform here, just really to give the impression that this is part of a larger, wider city, and it's not just this one little piece of road and it doesn't go anywhere. The roads disappear off into the distance under the raised platform, and I think we'll do a similar thing on the top level, where we'll probably have this road that will turn and go off into the wall effectively and build a little tunnel in there and basically have it disappear off into the distance through the wall, and possibly even do a similar thing over here. I'm even toying with the idea of not necessarily having road run all the way along there. We could potentially just have the road run up to where the Daily Bugle is and have that as more of a pedestrian area to give us more space to fit in the massive battle that we've currently got going on there. And we've got more minifigs and things to add into that battle as well. I've got some more Marvel sets that are not yet built. Then we move on to the top layer, and you can see we've started putting some modulars in there. The Jazz Club is in. We've also got the Muppets band out the front auditioning to try and get on stage in the Jazz Club and not really succeeding so far. We've got the Town Council just observing everything as it's all put together. And we've got a little construction site over here, which is where the next modular building is going to go. As far as the official Lego modulars are concerned, I've still got the bookshop and the... What else have I got? I've got the bookshop. What have we got here? What's this one? The bookshop, the downtown diner, and the police station. So several of them are under here. So they'll be going in on that top level as well. And then we're going to be doing some of the rebrickable modular mocks. So I'm thinking I'm going to have the Sesame Street corner modular here, which will take 2 Sesame Street sets to put together, and have that kind of on the end as a corner modular there. And then, like I say, downtown diner, bookshop, police station, and then we've got a couple more of the rebrickable ones that we can put in on there. And then we're pretty much done for buildings for now until we get more tables in. We do have our little street food area as well, which is very much a work in progress, but I do like my food trucks. I have got some more of these that I'm still to assemble, and eventually they are going to be spread out a little bit more across the city. So there'll be some of them at the seaside, there'll be some of them in the theme park, there'll be some of them in whatever ends up going in at the end here. And I do have some plans for trains as well. Obviously at the moment we've got just the one train loop, but there has been some very cool stuff announced by Lego coming out this year. I think 1st of June we've got a tram set coming out. So I actually think this loop that's going around here is going to end up being trams. So I am toying with the idea of actually putting the track into the road and not using the official road plates. And for this bit that runs across the front here, either we have the road plate with like an embedded road tram line alongside it, or we just go to the single width, get rid of these plates, do it brick built, and have the road with the tram running down the middle, and have this loop that goes around effectively our downtown area as trams, and then put in another track that can then do a similar job running along the top with the trains and then potentially have it come out beyond the raised platform on stilts and kind of loop around, and maybe just have the track running along the length there rather than it looping. We could have it looping here and then running all the way along, and then potentially even looping over here and have a really big track that goes around the top. I've also got this, which has just arrived, which I know is not official Lego, but is awesome and is an underground station. And I'm thinking my underground station is actually going to go underneath the raised platform, kind of sticking out, possibly behind where we've got the food trucks at the moment, or possibly when we get the new tables in, we could put the underground station kind of underneath there. So again, all about giving the impression that the city has got a wider setup to it. We've got the 2 train lines that we can see, but there's an underground station as well. So there's obviously an underground line that we can't see. And then maybe one day the underground line will exist once we've built some of this Lego that's hiding underneath. There's no reason why that couldn't become an underground line, I guess. And that is the Lego City as it currently stands. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you'd do next. I'm just going to continue adding modulars to it probably between now and the next video, which, I don't know, my thoughts on the modulars building stuff. I don't know how interesting it is to watch me build modulars, which is why I'm just building them off camera and showing you when they're finished. I think the more interesting stuff, certainly when I'm watching Lego City videos, the more interesting stuff is the problem solving, things like how do you sort out the train tracks? How do you plan the layout? How do you sort out getting the road plates and the pavements and a raised platform and all that kind of stuff. So that's the stuff we're really going to focus on the construction of in these videos. Modulars are much more likely to just say, oh yeah, by the way, I've added these couple of modulars. Maybe the rebrickable ones I'll do in a little bit more detail, but I don't think there's a huge amount of value in me showing you me build the Jazz Club, for example, because it's a current set. There's videos all over YouTube of people building the Jazz Club. If you want to see someone build the Jazz Club, there's ways for you to watch that, but you won't be able to see anyone else solve my rail and road problems. So I think they're more fun for a video. So let me know your thoughts down on that in the comments. I'm happy to be a little bit flexible about that. We are still very early days of the channel and learning the ropes, but I think that's kind of the plan for the Lego City stuff for me going forward. I know as well, before this video ends, I also need to show you the rest of the collection as it currently stands, because if I don't, you're going to ask. So let me just show you what else we've got going on in here as well. So we've got the Batman set, along with the Tales of Space set that sat on one of these little IKEA shelves. I tried for about an hour to mount the Batman set on the wall and just ended up destroying the back of the set. So in the end, just got an extra shelf to put it on. I was able to mount these 2 though. So we've got the Spider-Man set, we've got the Great Wave. Eventually that wall will be covered in more art sets. Anna's loving making them. So as she makes more, they will appear on that wall. At the moment, we've got Dungeons and Dragons up here with some of the cactuses. It doesn't completely fit properly. If I end up using this area as a medieval area, which is a potential idea, Dungeons and Dragons may come down and we might get some more medieval sets. Otherwise, it's likely to just stay up there, but maybe compress a little bit as time goes on. I might one day figure out how to balance the dragon on top of the castle, shift it along a bit, because I really would like to get the medieval town square to put next to it somewhere in the room. Maybe once I've built all of these sets on this bookcase at the end, we can start using the bookcase for display like it was originally intended to be. And then we've of course got this shelf up here as well. So we've got the Series 24 minifigs, and then a few of my my favourite sets that I've built, my display stuff. I'm trying to focus more on the city than on display stuff, but occasionally a set is so cool, like the Pac-Man, like the NES, that I just have to build it and put it on display in here. And then we've got the most recent CMFs, and that Xbox 360 is a mega set, but the Xbox 360 was such an important console for me that I want to have that up there next to the NES. The NES was the first console I ever owned. Pac-Man was probably the first game I played in an arcade. Mario was one of my very first loves. And Xbox 360 basically got me into content creation all those years ago. Without that, I probably wouldn't be making this video now. It's a long path between that and here, but it definitely all started with the Xbox 360. Then we've got a couple of our souvenir sets. So the Vespa was from Rome, the phone box was from Edinburgh, etc., etc. So as far as the display stuff goes, I imagine it will change out quite a lot. And I've got my office downstairs as well, where I've got some more stuff on display. I should probably show you that, shouldn't I? So in here, we've got my little Animal Crossing town. some of which is going to be converted. I want to put Nook's Cranny in the city as a modular, so I don't know how long the Animal Crossing display will survive in its current form. Obviously, there's more of that coming out soon as well. But I've got my little camera, my little Wally, my awesome giraffe, and mixed in with some Pokemon stuff, another camera in the back there. Basically, these are both from the Creator 3-in-1 camera set, because I wouldn't be where I am now without cameras that look like that because of vlogging. And actually, my first YouTube camera looked a lot like that one back there. I've got the Office set, which is awesome, and we now have a little display case for that. I've also got the Camp Nou, which I built on stream, which also is going to have a display case for it. I just haven't put it together yet. And we've still got this in here. This probably needs to come up into the Lego room, but I quite like just having it in here, in amongst all of the other toys. And then lastly, let's show you Anna's bits and bobs as well. We're going to focus on the built sets rather than all of the stuff that she's not yet built, but you can see that this room is also starting to take shape with built sets. We've both been very, very busy building an awful lot of Lego, and the rooms are starting to look really, really cool. She's got her own little Lego city with their tiny houses, the houses of the world, that she's starting to put together on there as well. And it looks like she's currently working on the inside out cubes. And that's what I got her for her birthday, which she's very happy with, because she wanted him to sit next to BD1 over there. And there we have it, folks. That is the full Lego collection, or at least the built Lego collection, as of May 2024, including the Lego City. It's going to be really interesting to compare this. We might do this maybe once a quarter or so, just give you a full tour of the entire collection, just to see how it develops over time, because I imagine if we do this again in what, July, August, the city for sure is going to look very, very different from how it looks now. And I'm excited, and I'm ultimately having so much fun with it. So really glad we've stumbled across this Lego stuff, because I am having the time of my life. But hopefully you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Let me know in the comments what you'd like to see more of in future content. Have I done too much without showing you it? I am keen for feedback. I want this to be like a collaborative channel, a collaborative series. So let me know if there's more you want to see or less you want to see, I guess. Just feedback. Feedback is very welcome, both in the comments and on the Discord, which I'll link to in the description as well. Subscribe to the channel for loads more Lego content. And thank you very much for watching.